Hi, I'm Johnny and you're watching the Hexy Beast, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different this week. I'm going to be taking a look at the digital version of Gloomhaven on the PC, as recently it just hit 1.0 and the campaign from the board game has actually been released. So anyway, let's get downstairs to the PC and check it out, shall we? Okay, so this is Gloomhaven, and today I'm just basically going to be going through the campaign that was recently released with the 1.0 release of the game, which means the game is finally available in full release on Steam right now. So first thing I'm going to do is click campaign, and then what we're going to do is we're going to be starting a new campaign, and I'm going to be doing it on easy, and the guild name I'm going to use in this case is just going to be Hexy. Each mercenary is also going to manage their own amount of gold. So anyway, let's get started. I've actually been really looking forward to the release of this, and hopefully it doesn't disappoint. It actually includes the full campaign from the board game. So let's get going.
Welcome to the harsh lands of Gloomhaven, recruit. You think you have what it takes to become a mercenary out there on the edge of the world? We are paid to venture into the darkest forests of the region and to step into ancient crypts with the unmistakable stench of death and rotting flesh. Lovely places to earn a name for yourself. Be ready to face cutthroats, undead, fearsome tribes, and dreadful demons from other realms. You didn't find yourself as a mercenary without knowing how to crack a few skulls, did you?
Oof, that was a bit loud, wasn't it, that last bit? We whipped us. So let's get on with the tutorial. Before going into the harrowing wilderness surrounding Gloomhaven, you'll need at least 2 mercenaries in your party, brave or greedy enough to seek out adventures in exchange for gold. On your left, you'll find the party panel. Here you'll see the basic information of the mercenaries in your party. Click on the first character slot to open the roster panel. You can create, view, and add mercenaries to the current party using the roster panel. Right now, it's looking as barren as the Copperneck Mountains, so best to click on New Mercenary to create your first character. So let's do that now. Next, you'll choose one of the starting character classes. Each one has a unique ability and game style. As you progress, you'll level up, earning new ability cards and unlock more classes. Click on any of the portraits to learn more about them and select whichever you want to be your first mercenary. So, as you can see, good choice. Now remember, looks aren't everything. Mercs' ability cards are what define their actions in battle. You can click Starting Ability Cards button to make sure it is the right mercenary for your party. Once you are sure of the decision, hit the Select Mercenary button to move forward. So let's have a look at their starting cards. Okay, as you can see, they have a starting deck, and the way Gloomhaven basically works is each card has an initiative value in the middle, and then on your turn you're going to pick 2 cards, and you're basically going to be doing the top half of one and the bottom half of the other. But that's enough about how the cards work. Let's just get on with creating our party. So I'm going to select the Brute, and the name he's going to be is, what should I call him? Brutus. Brutus sounds good to me. So we've created Brutus. And now this is a part that's important to the main campaign. So a personal quest is the mercenary's sole reason for adventuring. Once the objective is complete, the merc will retire. Beware, when a mercenary retires, they will no longer be a playable character. So in this case, I am going to choose the thin places where it has to complete 6 side scenarios. So let's do that now. Though farewells can often be bitter, some things have more on the give way to new horizons. Shall I read that again? Though farewells can often be bitter, some things have to move on to give way to new horizons. Completing personal quests and retiring with mercenaries is the primary route to unlocking new character classes. So I think I'm going to pick this one, and now we're just going to choose our second character as Brutus has joined the party. That's 1 merc sorted, but you'll need a minimum of 2 mercenaries before you can go out seeking adventure. It's important to build a party of mercs who complement each other in battle. Click on the second character slot in the party panel and create a new character. Know that it can't have more than 1 merc of the same character class in the party at the same time, so be sure to create a different one. Okay, so I think this time, we are going to go with the Crackheart. Let's have a look at his ability cards a minute. Yep, lots of damage. Definitely, some nice shield and some movement abilities. A lot of the cards do get burnt though. So, he's looking fine. Let's select him. And we're going to name him Craggy, because that just seems about right. And now we're going to pick his personal quest. And if we look here, find the Skullbane Axe now. Kill 20 elite monsters. Seems good enough for me. So we've chosen that. Now we have a party of 2 mercenaries. Hooray. Time to do some adventuring. If you're confident with your current party, click on the center of the screen to close the party roster panel and head back to the world map. So let's do that now. Before heading out on your first quest, you should gear up. After all, it is your first time out in the open. You'll notice each mercenary has a modest stash of gold. It's encouraged to take that money over to the merchant shop and spend it on anything that might just keep you from dying. So we'll click on the merchant's icon below. Remember, each mercenary has his own stash of gold and a personal inventory. So make sure you click on the right mercenary's portrait before purchasing an item. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to buy a potion for each of them. So they're all going to get a minor healing potion, so we'll buy that. And for the Cragheart, we'll also buy one of them too. And then we're also looking, I think I might actually buy leather armor for my brute. So we'll buy that. And then for Craggy, he is going to get some winged shoes, which allow him to turn his movement into jump. So we'll buy them now. And then we'll go back to the map below. Gloomhaven isn't known for its well-mannered folk and good Samaritans, but there's a lot to gain from its city streets. You can choose to partake in city encounters by clicking this button below. It's encouraged that you do this whenever you're in a city, as they often have good rewards. If you ever find a quest that looks too hard or one that you've repeatedly failed to complete, the Temple of the Great Oak can grant you its blessing, for a fair price of course. You can choose to access the temple using the button below. The first quest location is marked just north of Gloomhaven. You'll see it flagged with an icon. As you progress, more quest locations will appear across the map. To keep track of them, you can use the quest log on the right hand side of the screen. Click on the black barrow or entry in the quest log to select the quest. You can embark upon a quest with up to 4 mercenaries, but the more mercs you bring, the more dangerous the quest will be. Once you set out for a quest, you won't be able to change the members of your party until you return to Gloomhaven. Okay, let's check out the city encounter. You decide to unwind at the Sleeping Lion, but just as you're starting to relax, a bear of a man crashes into your table, scattering your drinks across the floor. Towering over him is a massive Enox. "What did you say about my horns?" the Enox shouts. The man stands up and brushes shards of glass from his tunic. "I said the sight of them makes me want to vomit." The Enox roars and charges headlong into the man, crashing through more tables in the process. At this, the entire tavern erupts into violence. After all, when a man is deep into his drink, the last thing you want to do is knock that drink over. So, I think, based on the choices we have, which is to join the fray, these insults will not go unanswered, or do your best to stop the fighting, this is a respectable establishment, I'm actually going to go for the second option, which gained us 1 reputation. Nice. The party's reputation has been influenced by your actions. Reputation will influence the cost of items in the merchant's shop and the outcome of certain encounters. Good deeds are often rewarded, but they can be so much less fun. The choice is yours. After restraining the enraged Enox and offering to replace the drinks of a few of the more belligerent patrons, you calm the place down a bit. Some of the non-human patrons are understandably on edge, but the proprietor asks you for your efforts and thanks you for your efforts and reimburses you for the drinks. Okay, so now the last thing we need to do is equip ourselves, and I'm going to do that with the equipment panel. You'll find the different types of items a mercenary can carry. Clicking on the item slot will display all the items of that type the mercenary owns. If the item slot is displayed in grey, it means they currently have no items of that type. So I'm basically just going to equip the winged shoes and the potion for the Cragheart, and I'm also going to equip the armor that we bought and a potion for Brutus. So that makes us pretty much ready to get on to our first quest. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got eagle eye goggles available. So anyway, enough of that. Let's just get on with the first quest. Now might be a good time to go through the mercs' ability cards and inventory to make sure that they are battle ready. In the quest description, you can see the enemies you'll face. Hovering over them will reveal their stats. So we got 4 health, 5 health, and 5 health. It's nothing too particularly taxing, so I think we'll be fine to just travel to it. Here we go.
Everyone needs to eat. Whatever your reason for coming to Gloomhaven, out here on the edge of the world, that simple fact is never going to change. A mercenary can't fight on an empty stomach. So when Jexera, a Valrath woman wearing a red cloak and enough gold jewelry to keep you fed for a decade, approaches you in the Sleeping Lion and offers to pay you 10 gold coins to track down a thief and retrieve some stolen goods, well, Seems like as good an excuse as any to sober up and start paying off your tab. This thief has taken some important documents, says the red-skinned merchant, her tail whipping about in agitation. I don't care what you do to him. Just bring back what is mine. Based on Jaxera's description, it was easy enough to knock around a few alley thugs and get a location of the thieves' hideout. You don't find yourself as a mercenary way out in Gloomhaven without knowing how to crack a few skulls. So your target is the Black Barrow. Sounds like a lovely place.
That it does. That it does. So anyway, heading on our way to Black Barrow, we're likely to come across an event. Oh, an encounter even. Walking along the edge of a forest, you begin to hear strange, unfamiliar sounds coming from beyond the trees. You stop and listen closer. There is a rhythm in the sounds, and with that established, you begin to pick out different human voices in the mix. You'd venture to say that the noise vaguely sounds like chanting. So what should we do? Should we keep moving down the road? No need to get... shall we... Yeah, we're just going to investigate the chanting. Ooh, I lost a perk point. You quietly move through the forest towards the noise. Eventually, you come upon a clearing where you see a circle of cultists performing some strange ritual. One of them notices you and shouts out to the others. The situation devolves into a bloody battle. You are, of course, victorious, but it saps some of your strength. So even though we've gained 5 XP, we actually lost a perk point. Collecting 3 perk points will unlock a perk. Perks are very handy as they allow you to edit a mercenary's attack modifier deck. Okay, so let's move on to our quest.
The hill is easy enough to find. A short journey past the new market gate, and you see it jutting out on the edge of the corpse wood, looking like a rat under a rug. Moving closer, you see the mound is formed from a black earth. Its small, overgrown entrance presents a worn set of stone stairs leading down into the darkness. As you descend, you gratefully notice light emanating from below. Unfortunately, the light is accompanied by the unmistakable stench of death. You contemplate what kind of thieves would make their camp in such a horrid place as you reach the bottom of the steps. Here, you find your answer. A rough group of cutthroats who don't seem to have taken very kindly to your sudden appearance. One in the back matches the description of your quarry.
Before entering a dungeon, each mercenary must choose one out of the 2 battle goals. A battle goal is a secret objective the mercenary tries to complete inside the dungeon. Failing it has no drawback, but successfully completing it and the scenario will earn the character the reward shown. So interesting, they're both only worth 1. Be the first to kill a monster during a scenario, or have 3 or fewer total cards in your hand and discard at the end of the scenario. I think we're going to go for the opener. And for the Crag Heart, we have to kill 1 or more elite monsters, which is not going to happen. And we kill 5 or more monsters, maybe we'll do the sadist. So now, let's enter the dungeon. I'm actually quite pleased with the amount of voice acting I've seen so far as well. That was impressive.
Take care of these unfortunates, your target says, backing out of the room. You can vaguely make out his silhouette as he retreats down a hallway and through a door to his left. Well, it's not every day we get people stupid enough to hand-deliver their valuables to us, grins one of the larger bandits, unsheathing a rusty blade. We'll be killing you now. Joke's on them. If you had any valuables, you probably wouldn't be down here in the first place.
Okay, so now it's time to start actually playing the game. So the first thing you may notice is that there's some highlighted hexes at the start. This is basically us choosing our starting position. So right now, Boot is going to start by here, I think. And I want the Crag Heart to start by here. It's worth noting as well that these are the cards that we have available to us. And as I said before, we're going to pick 2. And I think what we need is this one for our attack. Also notice the initiative numbers will determine our turn order, and you'll see how this works now. So I need to at least move 2 spaces forward. So I'm going to do that with Provoking Roar, because as you can see, each card also has a standard move and a standard attack. And then I'm going to use Leaping Cleave in order to attack these two guys when I get there. So now let's see what the Cragheart wants to do. We have some quite strong attacks. Let's have a look on some of our movement abilities there. Ah, there we go. We'll use Rumbling Advance to get into range. So that we're going to do another damage to these when we get there. And then the attack we're going to use once we get there is going to be Avalanche, I think. Even though it's actually going to... If you notice, it's got this little burn icon in the corner. That means that once we use this card, it's going to be removed from the game if we use it for this ability. So I might actually pick something else. That's only attack 1. There we go. We'll go attack 3. Choices, you see. So we're going to go attack 3 forward and back. Or we can have attack 1, 3, range 3. Actually, I think I am going to use the Avalanche because it might actually be very useful for us. So now we've ended our selection. The initiative order is determined by these Bandit cards. So this Bandit is going to have 1 shield and retaliate 2. He's also got 1 shield and retaliate 2. He has 9 health, and this one has 5 health. He's going to move to, etc, etc. So now we know how it's going to go. It's time to cause some damage. So first, the Root is going to move into position. And he's going to do this by using his standard movement on the top card and provoking Roar. So he's going to stand into this position. We're then going to confirm the movement. And then we're going to be using the top half of Leaping Cleave in order to cause damage to both of these units. Now we're going to confirm targets, and once the attack takes place, we're basically going to draw a modifier from the modifier deck, which will then determine how well our attack goes. So as you can see, that was a -1, so it only did 2 damage, and the other one was a normal attack. You can actually see the level of modifiers left here in this section at the top. As we level up and gain more perk points, we'll be able to move some of the negative ones and add some more positive ones. But that's a long way from here. So we've ended the Brute's turn. And now this Bandit is going to go and do his thing. So he's increased his shield. And then we're going to have the Bandit Guard do his thing, which also increases the shield. So basically the shield basically means we're going to have to do an extra damage to get through to his actual health bar. So after he's done his thing, it's now time for Cragheart to do his thing. So the Cragheart is going to move in using this ability, because all adjacent enemies will suffer damage as well, which is handy because we're going into this position. So if we confirm that movement, we should also get our 1 damage. Excuse me. And then I'm going to use this top ability of Avalanche, which is to attack for both of these guys. So hopefully we might actually have something cool happen now. Okay, so oof, nice. So we've killed one of them, but we've also caused damage to ourselves. So I can, at this point, I can choose to either burn 1 available card or receive damage. And I think what I'm actually going to do is receive the 2 damage, because that's one of the reasons we actually bothered to get the potion, is just in case something like this would happen. So we're going to end Cragheart's turn, and now we're going to move on to the second round. And we have 2 enemies left here, but if you look over here, we've also got another room to explore. So I think our best bet might actually be this Sweeping Blow. Or we could use something else. But I think we're going to use the Shield Bash for our movement after we attack, just so we can guarantee early space in the turn. And then we're going to use Sweeping Blow to cause some damage. And with Cragheart, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attack for 3 and immobilize. And then I am going to move and open that door. I think that might be the best option. Okay, so let's see how this goes. So once again, these 2 guards are going before the Cragheart. So the first thing we might want to do is attack these guys and see what happens. So we've got -1 and a 0, which means we should have less negative modifiers in our deck now. And then for my second ability, I'm actually going to move on to this gold. So basically at the end of the turn, if we're on top of a gold pile, it will pick up the gold pile. So I'm going to skip the rest of my movement and end my turn there. As you can see, he's going to pick up 2 gold. He's going to turn around and attack me, -1 damage. I'm actually going to take that damage. And then the Cragheart is going to attack for 3. And he's going to confirm his target. He's got +1, which means that guy's down. So I'm actually going to use my movement to open this door, even though I'm going to have to miss coins doing it. We now have some more enemies in the midst. And then there's a door on our left. Okay, so this shouldn't be too long. But I'm just going to move out the way of the door so that my other character can get through. And I think I'm going to actually use this potion on the Cragheart to get him back up to max health. Okay, so he's all now healed up. We're going to end Cragheart's turn. And we're going to see what happens next. The archer's going to come across. He's laid a trap on the floor, which is always fun. He's going to hit me for +1. Ouch. Just as well I healed up. And he's going to do no damage to me, so that's nice as well. Okay, next we're going to do Brute's turn. And he is basically looking at the attacks we got. They've all got 5, so I'm actually going to use this Overwhelming Assault card. First, I'm going to move using this Eye for an Eye. Then I'm going to use Overwhelming Assault for its burn card ability on the top in order to do 6 damage. I should take out one of these in a single hit. Meanwhile, we are going to see what is available. +1 attack and middle. All allies in the area forget. Ooh, so it's a tricky one. We got range 3 on that. So what I'm going to do actually is I am going to... We're going to move 2. Yeah, we're going to move 2. Using Unstable Upheaval. And then once I get on the other side, I'm actually going to attack that archer, I think. That sounds like a good plan to me. So now we've selected our cards and the turn order's been sorted. Cragheart goes first. I think I'm actually going to use those boots to do our movement before our attack. So if I use the boots, it means I can jump, which allows me to get onto the other side here. Which then puts me in 1, 2, 3 range. Not quite there yet. Not quite. I can't reach. So what I'm actually going to do is I am actually going to attack this guy. But it does put us closer to the archer should we need it. So some good damage done. Ready for the Cragheart to come in and finish off. Not the Cragheart. Ready for the brute to come in. And then we're going to have this mercenary do its thing. He's going to gain a shield. And he's going to attack me -0. He's going to receive 2 damage. I'm just going to take it. Oh no. I'm poisoned. So he's now going to hit me again. He's going to get ×0, which is a good thing for me. So next, what I need to do is I think I need to figure out how to take this guy out. And right now, I think the best bet would be for me to move into this position and then hit him with this attack 6. Bear in mind, I'm actually going to lose the card doing it, but it does grant me 2 XP, as that's what that little number means here. So I'm going to hit this guy with it in the hopes that it'll finish him off. Oh, no. We drew ×0 card, which means we did 0 damage. Okay, so we're going to have to end our turn and see what happens. Ah, no. That's definitely not good. We're going to have to burn one of our available cards in order to actually avoid taking this hit, or it's going to kill off our Cragheart. So we're going to burn Dirt Tornado, I think. That was lucky. Okay, right now we've only got 2 turns worth of cards left, so I think it would be worth taking a short rest. Basically, the difference between a long rest and a short rest is that a long rest will actually take up the whole turn, whereas a short rest will discard a card at random, as opposed to letting us choose what we discard. So I'm actually going to take a short rest with a brute in order to get some of our good cards back. Sweeping Blow, I kind of like it, but we're going to have to lose it, I think. Okay, so now that we are ready for our next turn, I think I'm going to also have to do a short rest with the Cragheart. So we're going to perform the short rests. Okay, yeah, we'll burn that. It's not that much use. Okay, so right now we are in a position where we really need to damage that archer. And right now, if the top of that is the heal, and the top of that... Okay. So I'm actually going to go Earth and Clod so I can heal myself, and then I'm going to use Crater in order to attack the archer. And then we're basically going to see what the brute is going to do. He's already in a position to cause damage to both of these using Leaping Cleave. So really what we need is, there you go, Spear Dagger. We're going to use Spear Dagger and Leaping Cleave. Wait there. So Spear Dagger, yeah. So we're going to use Leaping Cleave and Spear Dagger in the hopes that we could take out both these enemies in a single turn. Okay, so now it's the Archer Elite and the Bandit Guard are actually at the end of this turn. So that's going to be nice. The first thing I'm going to do is actually use the Leaping Cleave ability on these two and see what happens. Let's see what we draw. +1 on both. Nice. Haha. Okay. The advantage to using that Leaping Cleave first is that I don't actually have to use the attack on the bottom half of this card. I can actually use its basic movement, which is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to move over this gold here to pick it up. So we're going to skip the movement and end there. I also think we might... No, we're not going to heal. We only got one problem. Okay. So we've got some more gold for the brute. And now, I think our best bet would be for us to heal ourselves. There we go. And then we're going to attack the archer for 3. To push 2. Yeah, we'll do that as well. So, yeah. Yeah, so we're going to get that. So, yeah, so we're going to use that. Confirm. So, ooh, nice. 4 damage. And with that push, we should push her into one of these traps. And hopefully that might finish her off. Yes, it did. Nice. So that's a good end to that round. So now what we need to do in order to progress is get into this door and open it. And I think the best way to do that is going to be... Let's have a look what we got. We got attack 4. Have we got any ranged attack for this guy? I don't think we have. So I think what we're just going to do is we're actually going to use... something with decent move. That's gonna. Okay, we'll use grab and go. So what we're gonna use for our top half. Top half is probably. I'm just gonna use eye for an eye and grab and go. Seems like the plan for this guy. And then the crag heart is going to use the massive boulder and the rumbling advance. Okay, so we're gonna use rumbling advance and massive boulder. So that's going to allow us to move 4 and then heal ourselves once we get to the door. So let's end that selection. So first things first. We need to move this guy into this position. Let him open the door. Okay, so the reason I've done this, mind, is to show you exactly what happens when I walk on a trap. Usually I wouldn't have done it this way. But we'll see that once it's the Cragheart's turn that I'm going to walk through there. We've also got more gold for that, which is nice. So Cragheart is now going to use move 4 in order to get here. But because we've got 4 movement, we can actually go around the trap. So it's not actually going to set off and cause us 2 damage. So we're going to go here, open the door, and see the final enemies of this scenario.
Kicking through the door, you find yourself face to face with the reason these bandits chose this particular hole to nest in. Animate bones. Unholy abominations of necromantic power. Nothing more to do but lay them to rest, along with the remainder of this troublesome rabble.
Okay, so right now, because of this, I can heal myself for 4, which I'm going to do. Meaning we have a nice, healthy Cragheart going into the next room. So let's see what these archers and undead bones thingies do. Living bones, undead. See, I'm glad I healed now because I can take that 2 damage on the head. No worries. Ouch. I'm going to burn one available card. It's going to be backup ammunition because I don't think I need it at this point. I didn't want to take that 3 damage, to be fair. Okay, so first thing, I need to make sure that this guy goes first. I'm going to actually take a short rest with him. Okay, we've lost Earth and Clod. So we're going to use Rumbling Advance. And so that's going to be our move ability. So that'll get us 1, 2 in front of those living bones. And then we need a double attack. So I think to push them into? No. Okay, so I'm just going to use opposing strike because it's 3 and it gets me 1 XP. And then we're going to see what this guy wants to do. We're going to take another short rest here, I think. And we've lost the retaliate, but that's fine. And if we look here, we need to be above 29 to make sure that our other guy goes first. Otherwise, he's just going to end up blocking the door and not allow us to go through. So the ability I'm going to use to move is going to be Leaping Cleave. And the attack I'm going to choose, we're going to go for Shield Bash, but we're going to make sure we use Leaping Cleave as our initiative value, so that when we do start moving, even though it does have jump, in fact, actually I'm going to switch that around because it has jump. So we're going to do it this way around. So we're going to be moving through in the first turn, and then we're going to attack. Yes, that sounds perfect. 1, 2, 3. That's just right. Exactly what we needed. So let's get on with the turn. Oof. Lucky for us, we both go first. So continue. Okay, first this guy's going to move 3 into this position. And with that, he is going to attack this guy. And do some damage, which is nice. He doesn't need his potion yet, and neither does the crack heart. So now we're going to see how well we can get into position. Which I can't, actually. I've made a mistake. Okay. So in this case, I'm actually just going to move into this location. And I'm going to have to waste my attack card. That's unfortunate. See, this is why making good decisions matters. Because I made a bad decision, and now I have to pretty much lose an attack. Okay. Oof. So, disadvantage was handy there. I'm going to take 1 damage. I didn't quite realise these hexes were actually blocked from me getting round. So, whoops. But anyway, we're nearly at the end of this scenario, so we should see exactly what happens going in. I'm actually going to use the warding strength to push him. But I'm going to start it with spear dagger and warding strength for him. And then what we're going to do, I need one of those ranged attacks. Yeah, we're going to use Crater. And yeah, so we're going to use Crushing Grasp in order to move into a better place. And then we're going to use Crater to do an attack at 3 range. And then push one of the guards out of the way. Oh, sorry about that. I'm still quite a bit unwell, but we're doing our best. In fact, that's one of the reasons you haven't seen content for over a week, is because I didn't want you to have to look at my ugly swollen face on camera. So we're doing a digital video this week. Okay, so we're now back on the Brute's turn. Brute is going to... Ooh, these choices, man, they're pretty good. I'm going to go for this first, because I might not need that attack too. So we're going to attack there to make sure this guy dies. Nice, that's 1 down. Then we're going to attack 2 on this guy. +0, meaning it does 2 damage. Lovely, lovely. So we're kind of right on track. We're going to end the Brute's turn. And now Cragheart is going to have some fun. So first thing he's going to do, he's actually going to shoot this skeleton. And it doesn't need pushing, so we're not going to activate that. Nice, +1. Down goes the living bones. And then we're going to move into this position by here. Leaving us in a nice place ready to take on those archers. Oh, only 1. It's only 1. It's only 2. Only another 2. Okay, we're starting to have to wait. Oh, no. That was lucky. So, now we're going to take another short rest. We're going to redraw and hurt ourselves by 1. Yes. So what are you going to do? What do we need to do? We need one of those big attacks, don't we? So first thing we need to do is we're going to use this to move out of the way. And then we're going to use this for the main attack. Then we're going to go use another short rest with a Cragheart. We're going to hurt ourselves for 1 to lose that. Okay, so we're basically going to be using Crushing Grasp again as our movement, and then we're going to be using Crater to attack at the archer. Okay, looking at the way things are going, the first thing we're going to do is going to be attacking... Okay, cool. So, what I'm thinking of is maybe... is I will move onto this square and skip the rest of my movement and then use this attack. Dealing 2 damage. Ouch. Okay, so this last... we were going to push him. Yeah, we should push them, shouldn't we? Okay, so we're going to push him into both. And the brute could actually really use this potion, so we're going to heal him up nicely. Giving him another 3 health, making him a little bit more able to finish the mission. And he picks up some more gold. I think the brute has actually picked up a lot of gold in this case. Oh, -1. That's something, I guess. Come on. I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, yeah, so we're going to use that. All adjacent allies and enemies suffer 1 damage. Move 4, jump 1. So why is it not letting me move? Am I pinned? No, but I'm actually going to move into this position so we can pick up the gold at the end. Then I'm going to attack this guy and immobilize him, hopefully. So let's confirm our targets. Oh my god. The double zero. Double zero. Not this time. That was just unfortunate for us. Okay, so we've managed to get the gold, but it's unlikely that we're going to survive, in my opinion. I'm going to take this short rest in the hope that I can get rid of warding strength yet. And use provoking roar to guarantee my turn happens first. Which will allow me to move in. And then I'm going to use... Leaping Cleave in order to deal some damage. Now, this is going to be a problem for me. So I'm going to take another short rest in the hopes that I get one of the decent ones. Crushing Grasp is gone. Okay, so now we've got 2 turns. I need one with a lot of attack. I could also move out of range. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to use Rock Tunnel to move away. And then I am going to use Crater to do an attack at range 3. Okay, so there's only the Bandit Archers left. And luckily for me, we should be able to take one of them out before it's their turn. So, first things first, we are going to use the bottom half of this card in order to move into local. And then we're going to use this Leaping Cleave attack in order to finish this guy off, hopefully. Hey, so we only got 1 archer left on the match, and then that's the scenario complete. So that's going to end Boot's turn. He's going to pick up the gold. He's doing pretty good on gold this time, actually. He didn't do his personal goal, and oh no. Okay, we're taking 1 damage. Okay, we're alive, and that's what counts. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, actually, because I'm now pinned. I'm not even sure if if I can do that. Yep, so we're going to do that, confirm the action. Do 1 damage to him before we even do the other thing. And then we're going to skip movement because we're immobilized. What's that? 2 damage. Yeah, we'll add that. And all of these enemies. Okay, we'll confirm the action. That's going to take another 2 damage off him. Then, I am going to use this top half of the ability in order to deal the final damage and hopefully finish the scenario. Yes! And that is the end of that chapter. Okay, so victory!
Your target is not among the dead. You shudder to think what horrors still await you in the catacombs below.
Okay, so that was basically how Gloomhaven is played. We've actually got the sadist check mark, which gets us a perk point back. And we failed the opener, but let's exit the dungeon and get back to the map. At which point we can either choose to carry on questing, or we can head back to Gloomhaven to buy more gear and just generally rearrange the party and their abilities, etc. So we gained 4 XP from that quest. And now we have the Barrow Lair, which is the next quest location. Occasionally you'll come across link quests. Link quests share a narrative arc and are encouraged to be completed one after the other by going directly to the link quest. You will avoid running into road encounters. If you prefer, you can return to Gloomhaven by clicking on its location on the map. Remember, while outside of Gloomhaven, you cannot buy or sell items, level up, create new mercenaries, or retire current ones. Okay, so we're not actually going to be fighting this today, but I think that you've pretty much seen how the game is played. And now it's time for me to get back to the shelf, and I'm just going to tell you what I think. Okay, so now we've seen a bit about how the game is played. It's time for me to give you some of my impressions. And right now, I just got to say, I think the game looks beautiful. It plays really well. In fact, I think it's thanks to this that I'm able to play Jaws the Lion quite easily. because I kind of learned the game from the digital version first. And that brings me to my next point. I actually don't feel that I need to own the big box version of the game anymore. Now that this campaign is actually in the digital version, I feel that for convenience sake and the fact that it is the full game, everything is there, that I'm just going to default to the digital version. And that's basically what I think of the digital version of Gloomhaven on PC. It really is one of the greatest adaptations out there of a board game. I'm not really a big fan of Gloomhaven, but I will finish playing this digital version because I think the only way I'm really going to play it now is through this version. So anyway, if you like what you see, please feel free to smash that subscribe button by there and check out another one of my videos by here. I've been Johnny, you've been watching the Hexy Beast. Thank you for watching, and most of all, stay Hexy everyone!